Hello, my name is Cecilia Gatungo, and I am a farmer. I live in Southwest Atlanta. I own Patchwork City Farms.
Hello, my name is Jamila Norman, and I am a farmer and also owner of Patrick City Farms. I also live in the West End.
We met because we were trying to save our neighborhood from itself. No, no, honestly, we were trying to make our neighborhood a better place by cleaning it up, and I don't know. I guess I volunteered to do a cleanup at the park, and Jamila was there. Through that, we started talking about just living in a better community, really. I told Jamila that I was growing food in my front yard, and it just kind of sparked this conversation about agriculture and food.
There was a time where everyone in the West End, they all farmed in their backyards, and, neighbors shared food with each other, and, you didn't go to the grocery store for a whole lot. And, of course, their children, it kind of became, well, you don't need to farm anymore, and there's that, people are totally divorced from the land, go to the big city, get a real job. So, like, the whole idea of farming just became this, you're backwards, you're slow, you're this, you're that. And, don't toil so hard. But there's a long history and story about how black farmers were treated on their land and farming and cut out from, resources. So, there's a lot to understand what came to generate those thoughts in people's minds, and why they would send their children off and be like, don't try to live this hard life that I've lived. But, it's had its detrimental effects in terms of, not having access and not having control of the food that you eat. So it was really important for me to just kind of connect those dots and just kind of like bring it back and say, okay, you know what? I see a problem and I can be part of the solution. So this is my way of being part of that solution. And so, just want to make sure that we're part of that movement, and that to say that, we care also about our communities. And, Cece and I for the most part, we go places and we're like, we're the only African-American farmers, and then not many as part of female farmers that are there. And so, people are always surprised to see us. And one of the main questions we get at market is like, are you guys a community garden? We're like, well, no, we're a real farm.
Yeah, why are you surprised that we're farming and we're black women farming, and especially with our backgrounds? We're Caribbean and African women. We come from that. Those communities of people who grow everything that they eat, and connected to the process, even from butchering meat to processing oils, and milling your own grains, and it's a full day work, making a fire, feeding the kids, bathing them, making food for your husband. The day never ends for a woman. I'm telling you, never. So, that it should be no surprise
That we can farm too.
That we can farm too. And do everything else that we do, which, heck, Jamila would be leaving. Sometimes it gets so hot out there. We're out there till like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Still got to go home, feed the kids, homework, and bathe them, put them to bed, clean the house, all that. So even with all that, you still get people going, what are y'all doing? Or are you running a community garden? I'm like, does this look like a garden to you? It says Patchwork City Farms on the signs.
I cannot imagine growing out in the middle of nowhere and just shipping my food to a warehouse or a middleman and not knowing. I think that's detrimental. And I can see where that can create a kind of isolation, to where you would say to your kids, like, don't do this, go do something else, because you've lost that reward, that feedback, where you used to be able to be in a community and you bring your wares and everybody like buys your stuff, and you go back and you do it all over again. You need that connection to the people just as much as you're connected to the land. It needs to be a full circle.